Good morning, everybody. How is it going? Shelly R. right out of the gate. Crazy week in the news with all these cases. Holy hell. My God. We're in trouble now. Erica Hart said, guys, I'm all kinds of fired up today. She's fired up. Mermaid, you're right. 2023 is bringing the cases. I don't like to do shows where I'm talking about more than one case. I like to stay on one subject. I have tunnel vision. I'm right on that. There's just no way today we could just talk about one because it's been an insane week. Dismemberment, dumpsters, and gag orders. That's how we rang in the new year. I know we haven't even made it to February yet, but I'm saying bring on 2024. It's crazy. Hello, Twisted Crime Scene. Hello, Where's Summer? Mystified for Life made it in. Hello, Karma Libra. Tiramisu said, good friggin' morning. Exactly. Hello, Jane. Hello, True Crime with Shannon. KCK. Just me. Exactly. Emotional roller coaster. The minute I see a pending post or I see that there's something I haven't read or something like that, I'm like, a notification. I'm like, what the hell could it be now? Greg Flatten knows about holy hell. If we don't see Greg Flatten in chat for a few days in a row, it means he's not okay. It means all the snow has fallen on him, or he has had a heart attack from the snow. He is always shoveling snow. And it is raining on you guys. Christina Laska gifted 10 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Make sure you check the membership tab. We have some stuff coming up for a members live that you're not going to want to miss. Hold on one moment. AP said hello from my hospital bed. What happened, AP? AP's in the hospital. C-Star said, awesome. Erica Hart is a real vegan. She's not a fake vegan like Brian. There's a lot of vegans that are pissed at Brian. They don't like that. They don't like that fake vegan stuff that he pulls. I put a couple of videos up this morning. I wasn't planning on doing any videos today. It's Friday. I like to wind down for the weekend, you know. But too much is going on. I put a video up about an update with little Athena. Dipshit is back. They went and picked him up and brought him back. He's in Oklahoma. Same jail as Alicia. Like I said, if she was on social media right now, she'd be saying, best weekend. We're back together. Look, we match. There they are. So I put a video up about that. There's a gag order in that case. Cramps my style, but whatever. We can get around that on this channel. I put a video up also that somebody's finally speaking out, saying that the fake vegan Bushy did frequent the Mad Greek quite a bit. Doesn't shock me. Shocks me that it took this long for it to really come out. Going to talk about that a little bit. Craziness in the Anna Walshe case. Didn't get to do a live about Anna. We did a live last Thursday. Brian has been charged with murder. Head and Shoulders. That's his nickname. I think they called him that in rehab. Charged with murder. I didn't even know that they were going to put his hearing on full blast, and they did. I couldn't believe the stuff they were saying. So we're talking about 3 separate cases today. Anna Walshe, Athena Brownfield, and Idaho 4. Hate saying that, but you know. Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Madison. I had to do a any, mini, miny, mo to pick out which one to start talking about. And going to start with Anna Walshe. I don't know how heavily you guys have been following this case. We do have a Facebook group for it. I'm going back to why I got away from Facebook groups and just probably going to talk about cases in the Crime Lines and Lies Facebook group. If it gets to where it's just too much and we're only talking about one thing, I'll make a subgroup. We'll do it that way, maybe. I don't know. You guys tell me. You lead the way. You lead the way. True Crime with Shannon said it's just too much, Brooks. True Crime with Shannon's like, I can't take it. I can't take it. Can't take it. It is. It's too much. Freaking, like I said, dismemberment, dumpsters. The gag orders are really working my nerves. Now, I have a feeling, not that I have ever had to do this, that it is extremely difficult for the government to prove someone guilty. When they say innocent until proven guilty, that's for the courts, not for me. Who do you think I am, Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I don't have a black robe. So I can say they look like they drove in on the sus bus all day. So while I know it's got to be really hard to prove someone guilty, not because the evidence doesn't make sense, but because idiots are everywhere. It might look to me like, oh, hell yeah, they did it. They did it. You get some moron on the jury with you going, well, no, they did say reasonable doubt, and it is reasonable that sheath, Maddie could have found it on her way home from work and picked it up, and she was going to try to return it to its rightful owner someday. We have idiots everywhere. Insane. Birdie says, I need a black robe. Thank you. Thank you. So let's start with Anna Walshe. There's a picture of Anna, absolutely gorgeous. Married way out of her league. Head and shoulders, definitely married up. This guy is beyond an idiot, guys. So in the Idaho 4 case, when we're like, how can you be so stupid? How can you be so stupid? And he's a criminologist. There's always one that can do it better. There's always one that can do it better. Every single time. And I'd say Kiki knocked it out of the park. She did it better. Thank you for the super sticker, Kiki. That is way too kind. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Hang on, Bama Skin. Let's see what Bama has to say. Bama Skin said, thank God these cases are more towards being solved than being unsolved like last month. Yes. Folks, there's pure evil in this world, and we have to look out. You cannot be too careful. You cannot be too careful. Who you talk to on the computer. Thank God we have such an awesome community. Thank God we have such an awesome community. That's why I've been saying on here a lot lately, because I've been seeing some stuff that freaks me out, if you want to know the truth. Outside of this channel and our Facebook group and Discord, be really careful where you step. These people are crazy. I don't know what the hell happened to them. All right, so let's start with Brian. They went to court on Thursday. Was it Thursday? It might have been Wednesday. It was Wednesday. Today's Friday. See what I'm saying? Anna and Brian hosted an elaborate dinner. That's how it was described by a friend of theirs that was at that dinner. Could you imagine being that guy? The last known sighting of Anna by a family member, I don't know who the family member is, was at 4 a.m. on New Year's Day. New Year's Day. Let's look at what he started searching on his 6-year-old son's iPad. Look at this. At 4:55 a.m., how long before a body starts to smell? 4:58 a.m. How to stop a body from decomposing. 5:20 a.m. he was going to perform some half-ass embalming in the garage because he says, how do you embalm a body? At 5:47 a.m., he says 10 ways to dispose of a body if you really need to. Now, that's only if you really need to. Because if you have enough room in your house, you can just leave the body there, right? Or, I mean, you've got to take the Christmas tree out, take down the stockings and all that, but then lo and behold, you've got a dead body in your way. Makes sense to me. How long, this is at 6:25 a.m., how long for someone to be missing to inherit? She's got a big life insurance. Her 3 little boys are going to get that life insurance now. He won't get a penny of it. But he wants to know, how long did he have to wait to get it? What an idiot. 6:34 a.m. Can you throw away body parts? I'm not asking, he was. Can you throw them away? Like, can you just put them in the trash? Like just in your regular kitchen trash can? Maybe your bathroom trash? You know, you got a 55-gallon that goes to the curb on Mondays. Can you throw away body parts, he asked. All right, so now he's really thinking. Because about 3 hours later, probably had to charge the iPad. He gets on there again and he says, what does formaldehyde do? Who the hell are you? Buffalo Bill? What do you mean, what does formaldehyde do? You working on a bug project? 9:34 a.m. How long does DNA last? Forever. If I died today and in 100 years they had to dig me up for some reason, because I'm not going to be cremated, they would know. They would at least know I was a female. A long time. 9:59 a.m. Can an identification be made with partial remains? He's not very smart. All right, so now we have to charge the iPad again, because at 11:34 a.m., he asked Google, dismemberment and the best ways to dispose of a body. Holy shit. Oh my God. 10 minutes later, how to remove blood from a wooden floor, because that body is in his way. He's thinking about formaldehyde. I guess he wanted to preserve it. I don't know. Can I just throw it away? Like just regular trash, sanitation workers? How do I do this? But I'll be damned, I've got a stain on the wooden floor now. What do I do? So how do I get blood out of this wooden floor? He's got a lot going on. 11:56 a.m., luminol to detect blood. So he's thinking, after I clean up this wooden floor, what if they bring in luminol and say, hey, there's still blood soaked into this wooden floor? 1:08 p.m., he says, what happens when you put body parts in ammonia? He did buy ammonia at the Home Depot. 1:29 p.m., Is it better to throw crime scene clothes away or wash them? Oh, I'd say wash on delicate and drip dry. What about you guys? What do you do with your crime scene clothes, guys? This is a true crime community. What is your suggestion on how to launder your crime scene clothes? Is it better to just throw them away or do you wash them? Well, I'm gonna have to come back to that one. Christina said burn them. I don't know. I don't know. I'm more of a I guess I need to know if all of this went down in polyester, a nice cotton, silk. I need to know more of the blend before I can answer that one. All right, so that one really had him thinking because it wasn't until the next day, January 2nd, also Anna's phone pinged on January 2nd, and it's safe to say Anna wasn't using her phone. January 2nd at 12:45 p.m., here he goes again, using the old noggin. Hacksaw? Best tool to dismember? Well, he did, I believe he did buy one at Home Depot. Now we're really shitting our britches, okay? Because now he's really thinking. He's not worried about floors and what to do with the crime scene clothes anymore. Now we're getting down to business. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Only took 18 hot days to figure that out because they charged him. They believe Anna was incinerated at a garbage holding facility. He is disgusting. 4 minutes after, again, he's really thinking, imagine what he's put this woman through. 4 minutes later, he goes, can you identify a body with broken teeth? Ugh. He's been watching some Ozark. He's going cartel with this, except he asked about the clothes. All right, so we're now we're working. Now we're working. He's been to Home Depot. He's already broken his house arrest. He's been tooling around, okay? He went to Home Depot, got $450, paid with cash because he's a thinker. Guys, he's a genius. Paid with cash. He didn't use his American Express. No way. He paid cash. And he wore a COVID mask around the store. I think he wore gloves too, if I remember correctly. Mops, buckets, various types of tape, tarps, ammonia, bleach, $450. January 3rd. So about 24 hours of cleaning and I'd say dismembering and driving around is what went on from what we know now. January 3rd, 1:02 p.m. He says, what happens to hair on a dead body? Yeah, do you wax it or do you shave it? What is he trying to ask? Is he wanting to know if someone can be identified by their hair? What is Brian asking exactly? 1:13 p.m. What is the rate of decomposition of a body found in a plastic bag compared to on a surface in the woods? So, this is some compassion coming from Brian right here. Should I just throw her in the woods or wrap her in plastic? What would serve me better? 1:20 p.m. He asked, can baking soda make a body smell good? Freshen her up a little bit. Can baking soda make a body smell good? He also asked, how do I get rid of a 115-pound woman? He also asked best way to dismember a 115-pound woman. Now, I guess we're supposed to believe that all these questions were being asked by his 6-year-old son because he made sure to use no other electronic in the house except for the iPad of a 6-year-old. So while you have Baby Shark songs, um, Minecraft, and all that other stuff going on, also in the search, you see, can baking soda make a body smell good? And what do I do with the crime scene clothes? Should I wash them or throw them away? That's what he wanted to know. Yeah. Safe to say that between when their guests left from the elaborate meal that Head and Shoulders prepared New Year's Eve, they rang in the New Year. So let's say they left like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'd say between 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm just putting it together here. I'd say between 1 o'clock in the morning when people left from their elaborate meal that Head and Shoulders cooked. I'd say between 1 o'clock in the morning and 4:55 a.m. is when he killed Anna. Because at 4:55 a.m. is when he says, "How long before this body starts stinking up my house?" Yeah. Yeah. Rexy said, "Who can defend this idiot?" That's what I want to know. How can you defend any of this? You can't blame it on the 6-year-old. No way. He is an idiot. Why didn't he just put on there, "How do I, Brian, dismember my 115-pound," he even said female woman at one point, female woman wife, Anna Walshe, who didn't like the elaborate meal I made for New Year's? Why didn't he just put that in there? I cannot believe what an idiot he is. Shelley said late December he asked what's the best state for a divorce. Not the state he's in. Not any state. Not for what he's done. No way. I like how in the midst of all this, how long is it going to take me to inherit that money? By the time I clean the floor and figure out what to do with this 115-pound body that's in my way, how long till I get that check? What a dumbass. Like he would even think he's actually going to get any money after all this. I know. He did. He basically told on himself. I like how he searches all of these things and he is so specific. He's so specific. But then he goes to the Home Depot on house arrest and he makes sure he has cash with him. As if anybody was going to use the Home Depot trip to send him away for life. Just the 4:55 a.m. search already set the train out of the station for sure. For sure. I don't even know what to do with all that information. It is so ridiculous. Let's look at this clip.
Disturbing new details in the case of the Massachusetts mother, Anna Walshe. Missing since New Year's Day, her husband, Brian Walshe, is now charged with murder. Prosecutors detailed days of internet searches on his young son's iPad beginning on January 1st with searches like 10 ways to dispose of a body. And is it better to throw crime scene clothes away or wash them? Anna wasn't reported missing until her employer called authorities on January 4th. Prosecutors now say they also have her blood and DNA mixed with that was found in Brian's dumpster outside of his mother's home. along with the clothes Anna was reportedly last wearing, and her purse. Anna's body has not been found.
He was the beloved
Yep. Sorry. I was talking and I had myself backstage. All right, so he also dumped part of her, we don't know, into, I don't know if he used one dumpster or several dumpsters. And the dumpster, one in particular, was by his mom's house. Now, what got his ass in jail in the first place? Well, that has to do with Anna. I haven't even gotten into all the art fraud. Was lying to the police. He said that breaking his house arrest was to go see his mom, but he had various errands to run to help his mom. And when they contacted these stores and had to go through the CCTV, like CVS was one of them. CVS, have you ever gotten a receipt from CVS? They're as long as my leg. Imagine what their CCTV is like. Okay? So the police are all kinds of pissed off because they know he's lying to them. So that's what they put him in jail for, misleading the police. He said that he got lost on the way to his own mama's house. He got lost on the way to mama's house. Yet, they believe she was dumped in the dumpster by his mom's house. Anybody want to help me out here? Got to be kidding me. Snazzy said, every time I see his smirky smile, it makes me want to volunteer to be the sponge wetter. Sucks no death penalty there. Nope. Thank you for the super sticker, Snazzy. I used to work with a guy whose brother-in-law retired from corrections in Oklahoma. He was the sponge guy. I don't think I can repeat the stories. This is when they had the electric chair that he used to tell. They would have some amazing conversations at Thanksgiving about the trials and tribulations of being the sponge guy. Bama, thank you for the super sticker. Said, rumor has it he was also filling out these odd surveys on Reddit. Too soon? You're going to give me a heart attack, Bama. You're going to give me a heart attack. That would be par for the course, though. That would be par for the course. We know it. We know it. So now we move on to Bushy. This case drives me insane because just the minute you think you've got everything, you're up to speed, something else happens. Just like this morning. I'm getting ready for this show, and lo and behold, Christina posts this link about how somebody affiliated with the Mad Greek finally spoke out and said Brian was there a lot. The people at the Mad Greek have been saying, we don't talk to anybody. Don't talk to anybody. People that come in here, don't mention it. Don't let them mention it. Nothing. Of course, the police, from what I'm understanding, the police told them, don't talk about anything. Well, this reporter from People magazine got some stuff out of them. For sure he did. For sure. Also, yesterday afternoon, the judge tightened up the gag order. Our good buddy Brian Enton put this up. The Idaho judge over the Bushy case has put a stricter gag order in place that now includes attorneys for any interested party in this case, including attorneys representing victims' families. We don't need to read the full order. We know who this is aimed at. We know who this is aimed at. They don't want the attorney for Kaylee's family speaking out anymore. He must have said something. And I don't know what it could be that really upset this judge. Because the verbiage, if you read the whole thing, the finger can only be pointing one way. Now, they're not going to be able to shut us up. They're not going to shut the media up. We can talk about what we want. They can't shut the families up. They can't. The only problem is when the judge says STFU, there's a good reason to do it. The media is not going to stop, so there's going to be plenty of talk there. But a month ago, there was a few people that were very loud and opinionated and frankly pissed off, saying that the police were not doing their jobs. There was no suspect. There was no arrest. Well, now there is a suspect. Now there is an arrest, and they don't want the jury tainted. It's a small area. They don't want the jury tainted. They don't want their job to be made any harder. We've heard all of these talking heads on News Nation, CNN, Fox, NBC, ABC. I mean, you name it. These defense attorneys coming out saying, well, this is what I would do. I would have that thrown out. I would challenge this. I would do this. I would do that. This is not a slam dunk. It could even be the prosecutor. He might be getting nervous. This is a huge case. This isn't a case that he can afford to lose. This is not a case he can afford to lose because all eyes, not just Moscow, Idaho, not just Idaho, not just their neighboring state, Washington, the whole damn nation's been talking about it. They can't blow it. They cannot blow it at all. Let's look at this clip real quick. Okay, so on the screen, we have the list of the inventory. Now, I do know that one of the experts spoke out, and it was said that the expert was disappointed in the search warrant and disappointed in the inventory list. I don't understand how you could be disappointed in this. They found what they found. This is what they took out. Do you want them to plant evidence? Because don't forget, there's still a search warrant for the car, and they also had a search warrant for the house in Pennsylvania. I've just never heard of anybody being disappointed about it, but anyhow. 1 nitrate top black glove, 1 Walmart receipt with a Dickies tag, 2 Marshall's receipts, a dust container from a Bissell Power Force vacuum, 9 possible hair strands, maybe from his eyebrows, we don't know, 3 possible hairs, 1 possible animal hair strand, 1 computer tower. Now, those are the searches I can't wait to see. How many times a day? Because by now they have his phone. He's not in the cell looking at his phone. I wonder how many times a day he checked on this case. I think about Doug Carter in Delphi when he did the New Direction press conference. And he said, you want to know what we know. course they do. Criminals heavily follow their dirty work. They heavily follow it. I wonder how many times a day he was checking on this case. One collection of dark red spot. Well, we know what that is. Christina said he could have had a bloody nose. He could have cut himself. It could be their blood. Unlike Brian in Boston, Brian Walshe, Head and Shoulders, he was concerned on how to launder the crime clothes. Looks like Bushy flopped in the bed and took a nap in the crime scene clothes because we have 2 cuttings from an uncased pillow with reddish brown stains. Sounds like blood to me. 2 top and bottom mattress covers with multiple stains. He didn't launder or throw away his crime scene clothes, did he? Only Brian Walshe is smart enough to think of something like that. Let's see what this says.
Black glove, receipts from Walmart and Marshall's, dust container from a vacuum, 12 possible hairs, 1 Fire TV stick, 1 possible animal hair strand, 1 computer tower, 1 item with dark red spot, 2 cuttings of an uncased pillow with reddish brownish stain, and mattress covers as well. Curious, interesting, but telling. There's got to be more to it. And the person who knows that is Casey Jordan. She's a criminologist, an investigative profiler, and a behavioral analyst. Casey, you saw the list.
Sure.
You know the other details in this story. What do you make of that list and what they actually might have gotten out of those items?
Well, I think we're all waiting with bated breath to find out the results of the forensic testing. Those reddish brown spots have got to be blood. And we want to know whose DNA is associated with that blood. I mean, if it is any of the victims, this is really bad for Brian Kohberger. But even if it's just his own blood, the question is, why is he bleeding on a mattress cover or a pillowcase? Oh, could he have cut himself? But of all the things on that list, I'm going to argue that the hairs are the most important, and that possible single animal hair, if that traces back to Kaylee's dog, nail in the coffin, I think, in terms of what Brian Kohberger comes.
That's what I thought.
I think we can all agree. Why are you bleeding on your pillow? You're a man. You have no reason to have blood in your bed. I don't mean to get gross on you. Why would you have blood in your bed? Why would you have blood on your mattress cover? An uncased pillow? Who doesn't have a pillowcase? Where's the pillowcase? Did he take the pillowcase off because he got blood on it? Sounds to me like he got back to the apartment exhausted from quadruple murder and he flopped in the bed. He had to have had blood on him. He had to have had blood on him. And I think we can all agree that if the hair comes from Kaylee's dog, how could you argue that? Are you going to say she brought it into the Mad Greek? And you carried that hair back to your apartment? You won't eat out of a skillet that might have had meat in it one time, but you have no problem eating off a plate that has animal hair on it? How could you explain that?
That is what I thought. And then I started to try to think about what a defense attorney would do with it. They all go to the same places, like the Mad Greek restaurant. Okay. And I know that my dog Atlas sometimes has some sheddings that are on my clothes, and I might have sat at the Mad Greek restaurant, and the person who sat down after me might have had that transferred. I mean, you know how it works, right? There's the possible, then there's the plausible. But that would be one of those that somebody would raise in court and say, well, he's been to the same places that they have, and they might have transferred that to any number of places around Pullman and Moscow.
And of course, that is what his defense attorney would do if it goes to trial, which I truly don't think it will. It depends. The point is,
Why on earth would this woman think for a minute that this isn't going to go to trial? Why? Four people were murdered? Does she really think they're going to make a deal with him? Does she think they're going to say, what could they plea this down to? Which family member would be okay with a plea deal? Could you imagine the look on Steve Gonzalez's face when you say, we're going to give him murder too? What? What does she mean? I don't think it's going to go to trial. This woman needs a V8. Do you see him being a criminologist? Being cool with, sure, yeah, I'll take a plea for life in prison. Death sounds good to me. Well, if you don't give me death, just life. Yeah, okay, let's not go to, no, it's going to go to trial. And he is a nutcase. He said he can't wait to get back and get exonerated. Not, I got to clear this up. I got to prove my innocence. Not, I'm going to fight this. He said exonerated. Exonerated, that's a little different. Exonerated, like he wants us to all apologize for even having the nerve to accuse him of anything. Exonerated's that's a strong man word. Kind of odd coming from him. Exonerated, you think he's not going to go to trial? Huh. I don't know what the hell she's smoking, but to say, and I don't think it's going to go to trial. You're crazy. You think his defense attorney is going to throw away her 15 minutes of fame and not have a trial? No way. Already they have a kink in their chain because there's a gag order. That's free publicity. That's free publicity. They don't want there to not be a gag order. That's free publicity for these people. She's nuts for saying that. I'd have kicked her right off my panel. If I was Ashley Banfield, I'd been like, never mind, hang on. You're a stupid ass. Get the hell out of here.
Is it reasonable to a juror to think that an animal hair from the victim, Kaylee's dog, went to the pizza parlor with her, ended up on him and back at his place, and by the way, he is accused of killing this woman? I mean, you just have to put yourself in the shoes of a reasonable person. But I mean, between that, the vacuum bag contents, this is going to be critical because it could have skin fiber. I mean, the triangulation is happening. The dotted lines, especially with your terrific guest from the People Magazine reporter, who's talking about those contacts, those DMs through Instagram. I mean, all of this just keeps tracing, and those dotted lines get more and more solid with each piece of evidence. I'm curious also about those receipts from Walmart and from Marshall's.
Yes.
What was it for? Any black kind of ninja outfit gear? Was the Dickies tag from a balaclava a mask that would have covered?
Did she say ninja gear? Black ninja gear? She's curious about the receipts. Ninja gear? Snazzy, thank you for the super sticker, said no alibi. If he had one, he would not have waived a speedy trial. You're right. He wants this time to try to tear apart law enforcement's work. And he needs that time too. He will fight this to the end. Damn right he will. Bushy the Ninja certainly will. Ninja gear? Oh, I figured he dressed up like Michael Myers. You know, one of those all-in-one Dickies jumpsuits. Nothing suspicious about that. Ninja gear? Bushy the Ninja. I got to hear that again. But has Banfield lost her mind? God, no trial and a ninja.
More and more solid with each piece of evidence. I'm curious also about those receipts from Walmart and from Marshall's.
Yes.
What was it for? Any black kind of ninja?
Banfield's lost her mind too. She went, yes. I'm really curious about those receipts from Walmart and Marshall's. Yes. Of everything, you're curious what the F he wore? Ninja gear. Look at the screen. Look at that douche lord. Do you see him dressed as a ninja? Yes. What an idiot.
Ninja outfit gear was the Dickies tag from a balaclava, a mask that would have covered his face. I mean, I think that there's going to be some bombshells when we get more details. And we know they're doing all the holdbacks in case this goes to trial. But I think that the things that they got from that apartment are definitely going to start coloring in, if you will, the outline that is being drawn every single day. I mean, it just keeps mounting this.
It just keeps mounting. It just keeps mounting. No, something's mounting. I will never question Dylan again, because if I saw a ninja outside of my door, I'd have froze and not done anything for 8 hours too. I'm done with that argument. Nope. I'd have froze, shut my door, and you wouldn't have heard from me for 8 hours either if I saw a ninja outside my damn door.
Evidence. And if Brian Koberger had
a ninja with big eyebrows,
this idea that he was going to blame a second party, a third party, and go, oh, have you arrested anyone else for this case? And of course, we know his defense attorney wanted in her discovery to know everything about a co-defendant. It looks as if he had tried to set something up so he could blame someone else for framing him. But the more evidence that they mount, the less tangible that defense is ever going to be.
I'm with you on the why would you keep, something with blood on it in your apartment, even if it is you bleeding. Again, this is several weeks after the actual crime itself. I think these things were seized on the 30th. Yeah. Right. So it's about 6 weeks after the crime. Very strange that there would still be blood on anything anywhere around a criminologist's apartment if he's guilty. But then that vacuum. I was also thinking about the vacuum and where that vacuum had been. And I think there's reporting as well that his car in Pullman had been cleaned. And it certainly had been cleaned in Pennsylvania. But I would be fascinated to know what's in that. But what about the fire stick, the fire TV stick? I know about computer towers and I know about searches. I'm going to talk about the searches in the Athena Brownfield case in a moment. But what do you make of the fire TV stick? Have you seen that happening lately in criminal cases?
No, I really haven't. And of all the things on the list, I think I discount that the most. I mean, I think that they can probably track what he is doing through the Fire Stick, with his online, with his activity. A lot of people use the Fire Stick not just they want to know what he's been watching on TV. But, listen, Big Brother is everywhere. The Fire Stick could be storing all kinds of things about his searches while he's using it that could be interesting to them. But again, it keeps mounting. And, we're going to see what happens. I really remember he left a month after the killings. He left in mid-December to go back home. Then they got to the apartment, 2 weeks after that. I've interviewed serial killers, Ashley. They are totally pumped with adrenaline for the first few days after the killing. And then as that subsides, they're overtaken with a sense of confidence that they got away with it. And that's when they start relaxing. So when we think of all the stupid mistakes that Koberger could have made, if indeed he's factually guilty, it doesn't surprise me that he got sloppy just before he headed home for Christmas.
Thank you for watching.
I don't even know what to say about all that. Oh my God. A ninja? I really want to know about these Walmart and Marshall's receipts. So we're really supposed to believe he had a getup like this going on? Are you serious? No offense to this guy. He's got nice manicured eyebrows. What the hell? What the hell? And there's Banfield. Right. Yes. No. Nope. 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 I'll give you Murphy's hair. I'll give you blood on an uncased pillowcase. I'll give you blood on the mattress. I'll give you these strands of hair that didn't come from his eyebrows. I'm not going ninja on this. Nope. Not doing it. Not going ninja. I'm not going ninja. Nope. I'm not ready for that. All right. So this is where they're talking about the mad Greek. The mad Greek. It has been said over and over and over. He didn't eat there. They never saw him there. They don't know. They don't know Brian. They didn't see any guy dressed as a ninja eating vegan food with big eyebrows. They didn't see him. They don't know him. Turns out he did eat there quite a bit, according to one guy or one girl. And it would only make sense because they do advertise they have vegan meals. They also have meat, but, true vegan, I guess, from what I'm understanding. I'm not a vegan, so I can't help you with this. And I said one day on the show, and many of you said it too, we were like, it's a small area. Pullman is not that far from Moscow at all. Why? I mean, of all the places, why would he not eat there if he's such a staunch, fake ninja vegan? Of course he's going to eat there. Now my question is, what the hell could have gone on at that restaurant between him and Xana and Maddie that got in his brain so bad for him to go to the house and do what he did? Boot Heel Sleuth said, what if the animal hair is from a cat or another dog besides Murphy's? I don't know, like maybe Jeremy's dog. I would, oh my God. Oh my God. If it came from Jeremy's dog, I would shit and fall back in it. I would die laughing if the hair came from any other animal. Swear to God, if it was from Jeremy's dog, I wouldn't even know what to do. Guys, I'd be in bed for a week. You check on me because I wouldn't be okay. Honestly, I would bust my gut laughing. If anything of Jeremy's shows up, that would be classic. Oh, God.
It happened just a few hours ago, and it may have been because of the incredible reporting by Steve Helling. The judge in the case wants no talking at all. He wants to put a gag order on just about everyone. We have a First Amendment right. He can't gag me. He can't gag a lot of people, but the judge in the case, she can actually gag people who actually work for the court. Officers of the court, attorneys on the case, prosecutors on the case, attorneys for the families, attorneys who are tangential to the parties in this case, witnesses in this case, and a lot of people. So a tougher gag order was just issued in the last few hours, making it harder to get these details. Well, no matter. Steve Helling gets them anyway, and he joins me now. He is a senior reporter with People magazine, and he has a long history in doing crime and justice reporting, which is why he got this story. Steve, congratulations on your exclusive reporting. Really remarkable stuff. Walk me through what you found out.
Well, yes. I started speaking to, as you and I both did, we tried to reach as many people as we could who used to work at, the Mad Greek restaurant. And, very few people wanted to talk, but I did end up speaking to somebody who worked there until recently, who said that, yes, indeed, they did see Brian Kohberger come there a couple of times, at least twice. And the only reason why he stood out was not because he was being creepy, not because he was doing anything weird, but he's such a strict vegan that he was requiring that he wanted to make sure that all of his food had not come in contact with animal products. So that's.
This actually makes sense to me. For one, it didn't make any sense to me that he would never eat at the Mad Greek. If he's such a strict, fake ninja vegan, of course he's going to eat there. I just thought this is really weird for them to say, nope, he's never eaten here. And they said it so fast, nope, not here. The police probably told him, don't talk to anybody. you're getting ready to have a lot of people that are going to start eating here. They're not going to even be from Idaho, let alone the town. You're going to have a whole new clientele come in, and they're going to ask you all kinds of things about Maddie and Xana and Ethan and Kaylee and the Bushy Ninja. But they were like, no, he didn't eat here. Nope, nope, nope. Of course he ate there. Of course he ate there. I would have a cat if he didn't. Of course he ate there. He had vegan pizza. He had vegan pizza every time he went in, and he made sure that they didn't cook it in anything that had ever had meat in it.
That's why he stood out, because he had a special request with his order. And yes, you know, he was there. We don't know who waited on him. We don't know if that's where he met, you know, a couple of the victims, but we know that he at least went there to eat a couple of times.
And we know that Maddie and Xana Kernodle and Manny Bogan were both servers at that restaurant. We can also say this, Steve's work is particularly good because many of the folks who work at the Mad Greek restaurant have met together and agreed as a unit not to speak to the press. They've also been asked by the police not to speak to the press. So the person that you spoke with was somebody who is just outside of that circle, who had just worked there and clearly still had this intelligence, but wasn't sort of bound by that that codified agreement that they all had together. But here's what's interesting. I think it was an aunt or an uncle or maybe a couple of aunts of Brian Kohberger who said many weeks ago that one of the strange personality traits that their nephew had was that he did not want to eat out of any pots that had once been used to even cook meat. So he had that tendency in the family in Pennsylvania that his vegan diet was so strict, he had to have new pots. They bought new pots and pans if he was going to be coming for dinner. So this kind of is in line with what this employee was telling you.
Yeah, I mean, things start lining up, and the more they line up, the clearer the picture gets. And so, yeah, that doesn't mean that he was doing anything weird at this restaurant. It just stood out. Just, anybody who's waited tables, I did it in college. I still remember people.
Now, let's be honest. What does he mean? Not that he was doing anything weird at this restaurant. We know he had to have been doing so weird. We know he had to have been doing something weird. Of course they remembered him. There's probably people that were just sitting there trying to eat their meal in peace while he was having a shit fit in the corner because he wanted to see the pan come out of the plastic and some sort of disclaimer that no meat had ever touched his pan. He probably brought his own damn pan and said, make sure you cook my food in this pan. I don't believe for a minute he didn't do anything weird at all. At all. And I don't blame the Mad Greek for saying he never ate here. He was never here. Nothing to see here. Because, well, if you remember the Corner Club, how many phone calls a day were they getting? To the point where they put a tweet up saying, stop calling. Stop calling. Nothing went down here. Quit calling. Can you imagine after this? I feel bad for the Mad Greek. I would go ahead and just disconnect my phone. I would just disconnect my phone. Because you're going to have a lot of people bothering you today. A lot of people bothering you today. You're going to have a lot of people calling you this weekend. I'm calling it now.
People who stood out because they had strange things. And that's what happened here.
So I want to ask you about the messaging in just a moment, but I'm looking at your piece and I'm actually looking at the Reddit account at the same time that allegedly belongs to Brian Kohberger. If you do a lot of the side-by-side comparison, one of the Reddit accounts called Inside Looking, many have pointed to the fact that this appears to be Brian Kohberger, and that the person who goes under the handle Inside Looking insisted that M+X were the killer's targets. That would be Maddie and Xana, who both worked at the Mad Greek restaurant. So once again, the pieces start to line up.
Yeah.
Back to the Mad Greek, what was it that he was ordering there? Because you never know. There could be a small detail that, that speaks volumes.
He was a vegan, and they are one of very few restaurants in the area that serve vegan food. And from what everybody says, it's the best place if you're a vegan. So he was getting vegan pizza. He could order and customize the pizza that he wanted with vegan ingredients, and that's what he wanted, and that's why he went there.
Do we know at this point from your source whether Maddie and Xana
Hang on, I'm right here. I muted myself. I'm sorry. I have to mute myself when I'm playing the clips, because if not, then there's a echo. I am not on my A game today. I've got a lot going on. That whole ninja thing threw me off. So this is what he was eating. Kira's Amazing Vegan, $23.27. It better be damn good for $23.27. Sauteed red and green peppers, onions, mushrooms, spinach, and tomatoes on a garlic and olive oil sauce. That sounds good. Okay, but if you're vegetarian, then for $1 or $2 more, they put mozzarella and feta on there. But vegans can't have any animal product at all, right? They can't have cheese, milk. Am I saying that correctly? I don't want to offend anybody. I'm not a vegan. I don't know. I would be like, shave some steak on that, bitch. Throw some Canadian bacon on there. That'd be me. Can I have a vegan pizza with hamburger? Okay, so this is what he would come in to eat. The Kira's Amazing Vegan.
Xana had any contact with them? Were they servers for his table? Were they behind the counter when he ordered? Do we know if there was any actual connection made?
We don't know any specific connection, but if you've ever seen this restaurant, this isn't a huge restaurant. This isn't a cheesecake factory where there's a whole bunch of people around. So the chances are that there was some sort of at least incidental contact between them, or at least he would have noticed them.
He could certainly see them without question. Whether he stood out as a customer that was noteworthy, that's a whole other, other story. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
Well, that was very interesting. So we know what he would eat. It actually does sound good, except it doesn't have meat on it or cheese. Cheese, I could. There's no way I could live without cheese. Erica, how do you live without cheese? Erica says, I don't even use soap made from animals. What would you do if you saw a leather sheath, Erica? He had a leather sheath. That's when Cain called him out and said he's not a real vegan because he had a leather sheath. And let's not forget the elephant in the room. He looks like he killed 4 people. But if this is correct, and what this guy is saying, if he's not telling tales out of school, and this is a correct statement, a correct story, seems that he was just there for 2. He had no intentions of doing anything to Dylan, doing anything to Bethany. He was after Xana and Maddie. Okay, Erica said there is vegan cheese and the leather better be fake. So inexpensive leather, but super expensive cheese. That stuff's expensive. What about cheese popcorn? Can you have popcorn, Erica? When I get confused about what I have to eat, that's the reason I didn't do good on Weight Watchers. Well, that and I eat everything. For a couple of months I was doing that where I was cutting out all carbs. I was in a constant fog. Lord. It was horrible. And just the other day, I had to go to the doctor, and he was back on me about the carbs. And I said, well, look, I'm not eating M&Ms before I go to bed. And he's like, it's not the sweets so much. It's the carbs. True Crime with Shannon's a vegan, too. Can you have cheese popcorn, True Crime with Shannon? Like if I got you one of those popcorn tins for Christmas, could you have the cheese popcorn? Popcorn, no butter. On Bob's community tab the other day, it was National Popcorn Day, and he was asking your favorite type of popcorn. And I told him, I said, I had to pick buttered because you didn't give me the choice of drenched in butter. Because when I go to the movies, I almost have to bring a spoon with me because when I put the butter on there, it turns into a popcorn soup. It's so gross. I forget all that stuff goes to the bottom. All right, let's get to, let me get my notes. Don't forget the link is pinned. The link is always pinned for you guys. Little Athena Brownfield. You know how mad I have been all week about this. I was mad when it was said they think that the girls were just left home alone. That was bad enough. Then people were saying, now how do we know how long has it been since she's been seen? Well, the neighbors said they saw Athena in the backyard playing, from what I understand. That very well could have just been Adina. That was probably Adina. Had to have been Adina, because as it turns out, Athena was murdered on Christmas. She was murdered on Christmas. Had it not been for her 5-year-old sister getting the attention of the mail carrier, to this day, nobody would know that Adina had been left by herself. By now, somebody would have gone to the house and got Adina. Probably bought her a toy, got her a Happy Meal. Nobody would have known that Adina had been left by herself for days. And nobody would know that Athena was gone, dead. Her mom's not looking for her. Did her mom even go see her on Christmas? Did her mom buy her a gift? Did her dad? Was her grandma looking for her? Would anybody have missed Athena in this family? I think she would have been a Harmony Montgomery part 2. So not only now this is according to TikTok. Here, I got to put the key up here so we know who we're talking about. If you have any questions as to who's who, it's on the screen. I just don't have Bladen or Devontae up there. They're a different story. I'm not sure they fit into this right now, except one has been putting money on TikTok's commissary books. So this is how this went down. Adina, January 10th. See, today's the 20th, so 10 days ago. 10 days ago, she gets the attention of the mail carrier, a really nice lady named Macy Turner. She says, I'm alone. They left us. I'm tired of being alone. I have no idea how long Athena had been alone. No idea. So she gets the attention of the authorities. The chief of police, now I don't know how this went down. I'd love to know. There is a gag order. I'm getting really tired of gag orders, dumpsters, and dismemberments. So it's going to be a while till we find out. The chief gets a phone call from Alicia. Up on the screen, she's the top row in the middle. TikTok is what I call her. TikTok calls the chief. Who knows what she said? Probably, oh, my mom was supposed to come pick her up. There's a misunderstanding. I'll be there to get her. The chief is like, hold up. Hold up. You're not going to get her. You left her home by herself. She's a mess. She's been eating pancake syrup for days. What do you mean you're going to come get her? But she slides this in. Was Athena with her? Have you seen Athena? Where's her sister? And the probable cause says that's when they knew they had a missing child on their hands. So, all hands on deck. The entire town of Cyril, Oklahoma is out looking for Athena. TikTok knew it was a wasted effort because she knew she was dead. She knew she'd been murdered in their house on Christmas. But she's trying to be slick. Well, where's Athena? She would have loved for them to say, oh, there must have been an accident. She's got to be around her somewhere. No, they were looking through tornado shelters, abandoned wells, culverts. They drug a pond. Interesting about that pond. I'll talk about that in a second. Now, so then on the 12th, they call her back down to re-interview her. They know damn good and well they're going to arrest her for neglect. They've already figured out that these kids have been neglected, that they were just left high and dry. They already know that. I don't know if the police thought Athena had been murdered at this point or not, but they're slapping the cuffs on her for neglect, for sure. While she's there, she can't take the heat, thinking she's going to get out of this neglect thing, and tells them, oh, Ivan murdered her. He picked her up by her arms and her eyes were making funny movements. And then he put her in the floor and he hit her in the chest 3 times and then she didn't move anymore. So then about 1 o'clock in the morning, he took her out to Rush Springs and he buried her. But he put a branch on top of her in case, we need to move her sometime. That's exactly what that was about. She probably told him, make sure you have a marker. So in case we have to move her, we can easily find her. Ivan didn't come up with that. Her involvement is way, way deeper than what she's trying to put out there. Right after, I say right after this horrific scene that she witnessed, according to her, these are her words, not mine. Some people say she's in shock. Shock doesn't work that way. I'm having a lot of problems with shock right now, if you know what I mean. She goes into shock. Whatever. She wasn't in any damn shock. A matter of just days, what does she do? On the 29th of December, so 4 days after witnessing a horrific murder of little Athena, who she's been taking care of for 1.5 years to 2 years, she goes and gets her nails done. She goes and gets her nails done. She goes and has some talons put on. A turkey buzzard has a better manicure than her. She gets her nails done. That's on the 29th. New Year's Eve, she's out with the murderer himself. Now, when she posted this, it said Alicia Adams, but she met Bladen and she quickly got Facebook divorced and changed her name to Galvin. But she was with, if you look at that douchebag over her left shoulder, that's Ivan himself, the one in the probable cause that beat Athena in the chest until she died and went and buried her and put a branch over her. But she's out with him on New Year's Eve. She said, best night at dinner, detective. Best night. So that is on December 31st into January 1st. The next weekend, the weekend of January 5th, 6th, and 7th, she's locked up in the hotel in Moore, Oklahoma, with a guy named Bladen. While all of this is going on, they went to the movies. Looks like housekeeping made the bed behind them because she's a lazy bitch, I have a feeling. She's getting her groove on with Bladen, who's holding a beer for the picture in the mirror. Now, while this is going on, I imagine it's some nasty, nasty stuff TikTok had going on that weekend. While this is going on, the murderer, Ivan, has taken her 4 children. They have 4 children together to Arizona. And she's in the hotel with Bladen. Don't forget, Adina at this time is home by herself. Home by herself, eating pancake syrup alone. And Athena's dead. She was posting things like, I have no choice, I'm a mom. These kids depend on me. I blotted out all the kids except for Athena. So there's her and Ivan, who was called Daddy, Uncle Ivan, Daddy Ivan, sometimes Uncle Daddy, Alicia, Aunt Allie, sometimes Mommy Aunt. These kids don't even know what to call them. They don't even know what to call these people. They don't even know what to call them. So disgusting. So disgusting. So they arrest Ivan last week on the 12th. They get him for first-degree murder based on what she said. They must have had something to back it up. And they found Athena's remains this week. Like I said, it's been an insane week. Well, yesterday, they went ahead and they gassed up the truck. They got moving pretty quick when they found the remains. They went down to Arizona. This is the state of Oklahoma. Our Department of Corrections went down to Arizona and got Ivan and brought him back. Governor Stitt is not going to do it Idaho style and pay for a private plane and all that. Governor Stitt was like, look, if he runs, shoot him in the leg. Okay, this is expensive. Gas up the truck, boys. Go get him. Bring him back. We're not getting a plane for Ivan. So anyway, he is back in Oklahoma. Let's look at this clip real quick.
Brownfield is now back in Oklahoma. Ivan Adams was just booked into the Caddo County Jail about an hour ago. He was arrested in Arizona last week, and our KOCO crews were there as Adams was brought into that jail this evening. Thank you for joining us at 10 o'clock. I'm Jessica Shambach.
I'm Evan Onstad. A judge also put a gag order on part of this case tonight. We have KOCO's Jason Berger live in Caddo County at that jail. Jason, I know you have more on both of those developments tonight.
Yeah, guys, according to the Caddo County Sheriff's Office website, Ivan Adams was booked right here to the county jail around 9 p.m. tonight. We watched as a sheriff's vehicle pulled right into those gates you see here behind me. Now, this is a gag order, and it was filed yesterday. It says that lawyers and law enforcement here in Caddo County cannot talk publicly about this case.
Gag order.
Now, when they say partial gag order, what part? I can keep a secret. I'm getting really tired of these gag orders. Dang gag orders. I know True Crime with Shannon. Really irritating me. They've got to put a probable cause out for him. I really hope they don't seal that. I really hope they don't seal that, because when he was in Arizona and they were talking about extradition, he said, no, I got to get back there and clear this up. I want to know his version of events. I want to know what Daddy Uncle Ivan, the old pogo stick, has got to say about this. Because TikTok, her version of events are way too convenient and way too detailed for me, for her not to be way more involved. Way more involved. I don't think for a minute that she's that innocent in this. Who would let a murderer take their children? Who? Who would not call the police? And one thing that infuriates me about Oklahoma is husbands and wives do not have to testify against each other. They don't. You see your spouse commit a crime, you don't have to turn on them. You don't. You don't. As far as her making a deal, she was there to be arrested for neglect. So there's no deal for her. Matter of fact, they're putting more charges on her. They're going to accelerate these, or they said through their investigation, they foresee more charges. And in Oklahoma, I've been here my whole life. I will say, as far as like deals go for these people, they very, very rarely have any deals for murderers or people that are around murderers, let me say. And if it came to that, it is so far down the road. It would have to be they have a major roadblock, and then they'll go to the weakest link, and then they'll make a deal. But no, she was there to be arrested for neglect. So there's no deal for her. Matter of fact, like I said, she's going to get more charges. My thing with her is her story is just too convenient. It's too matter of fact. She did nothing. She let him take her 4 children. Let's not forget, her daughters were in cheerleading and pageant. She didn't even take Adina and Athena to the dentist, the doctor, put them in any sort of educational program at all, let alone school. This didn't seem to stun her at all. She went to New Year's Eve with him. She said it was the best night, the best dinner detective, the best. Then the next weekend, she's with Bladen, and she said, best weekend. He said, we're going to hit some rocky roads, baby girl, but we got this. Now this weekend, her and Ivan are in the same jail together. This is definitely going to ring up there for her. She said she's going to make 2023 hers. She's off to quite a start. She's off to quite a start because look at them. Twins. Twins. I'd say this is one for the books, TikTok. This definitely could be your best weekend, for sure.
Are exceedingly rare, and they generally only occur in the most high-profile cases. The 2 examples are the Oklahoma City bombing and then the Daniel Holtzclaw case.
Attorney Ed Blau told me a gag order on Athena Brownfield's case is serious. He says public interest is a big reason.
The most high-profile cases are the ones that people see when they turn on their TV, when they turn on the radio, and when they open Facebook or they open Twitter.
Blau says judges will issue these orders if they feel it could impact a defendant's right to a fair trial. Athena's case is getting international attention, specifically on social media.
If you see 15 posts from people you're friends with on Facebook all saying somebody is guilty, it's hard to say that that's not going to affect you on some level.
The goal is to keep a jury as unbiased as possible.
The reason why a judge does that or would do that is so eventually when a case got to a jury trial, hopefully not too many of the potential jurors will have heard so much about the case that they would have already formed an opinion about it.
It also means you won't hear from lawyers on either side. We won't be able to get information from any counsel in this case or law enforcement in Caddo County. There's a key question a judge considers.
Is this a case where the parties, defense or prosecution, may want to get out in front and make statements?
And if a gag order isn't enough to get a jury set for trial, sometimes trials will be moved to another county altogether.
Many times there's no other remedy other than to change the venue to a different county so you can have a jury pool that isn't as tainted by the information that's in the public.
Now, we want to show you some video right now that we were able to.
Look, if you're from Oklahoma and you're a lifelong Okie like me, if you know, you know. You don't need a gag order. You get a jury summons, you go in there, you find out it has to do with a child. They put an adult up there that's trying to defend how that child got murdered. There's no tainting to it. They're done. They're toast. There's not many juries in Oklahoma that would even flinch when you say, this is a death penalty case. Do you have a problem with that? They're like, hell no, sign me up. There's not many. I don't know where they'd find a jury. I don't know. I have no idea. So there he is pulling into the garage. They got him back there. Caddo County, like I said. Couple of cells over from TikTok.
To capture just about an hour ago. We believe this pickup truck you see here on your screen is carrying Ivan Adams as right before he was booked here into the Caddo County Jail. Now, we know Ivan Adams was picked up from Arizona early this morning. We're still waiting to hear more on this case.
Okay, so he's back. He's wearing orange. He's about to have his best weekend with TikTok. Look at him. He looks a little perturbed. Now, she looks like she's shitting her britches right there. She's got the oh shit look. Look at his look. This is the mugshot. Thank you for the super sticker, Nubian Max. Get the ish. I believe it. I agree. She's kind of a deer in headlights. He kind of looks like he's got something up his sleeve. What do you think, guys? I tell you who else has something up her sleeve. CR is gifting memberships again. 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Thank you so much, CR. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look at how his eyes are kind of, see, which way would he be facing? Kind of looking to the left. Yes, exactly, Suzanne. No filter for her. No filter for her. I can't wait. Now, the attorneys can't talk. The judge wouldn't talk anyway. Law enforcement, OSBI wouldn't talk anyway. And, but I'm wondering if they're going to seal his probable cause. I got to look. I don't know if he's seeing the judge today or if they're going to make him sit it out over the weekend and see him on Monday. That would have been something important for me to check before the show. Oh, say it isn't so. It is Lex Luthor's birthday, everybody. Let's take a break from true crime for a second and wish our friend Lex happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lex. I hope you have your best weekend, Lex. I hope it is TikTok worthy, Lex. No, in all seriousness, I hope you have a great, great birthday. So these two are beyond sick. Now, as we said in the show, was it Wednesday or Thursday? Hell, I don't remember. This week, all the days ran together. This week has felt a month long. The criminals did not behave this week. One day this week, when we were talking about Athena, we said somebody is going to jump in the GoFundMe well. Somebody's going to try to raise money for them. Now, at one of the local banks, there is an account set up that if anybody wants to donate, it is going into a trust for Athena. They're doing it the right way. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. But when we got done with the show the other day, a GoFundMe was put up. And this is by a relative, from what I'm understanding, doesn't know Athena or Athena. Didn't even know they existed, from what I'm understanding. And the GoFundMe was listed, let me see if it's still on there like that, as funeral and memorial. Funeral and memorial. It'll be in this article, Sluggy. Here's my thing about funeral and memorial funds. There's always a way to work that out, okay? Particularly when it's a child, and hands down when it's a victim, a child victim. Oklahoma has what's called a state compensation fund. I posted the GoFundMe in the Facebook group, Crime Lines and Lies Facebook group, and I said, listen, everybody's super nice. Everybody wants to help, but be wise. Oklahoma has a state compensation fund. They will take care of this. And also, a couple of years ago, I had a group for a girl named Sierra Rod. It was a horrible case. Anyway, there was a lady in there, and she is going to school to be a mortician. She works for a funeral home. And she said it is a code of conduct between morticians, funeral directors, whatever you want to call them, that you waive your fee for services for children, whether it's an accident, childhood illness, but or if they're murdered. Now, as far as burial, cremation, there's a state fund that will take care of that. This is how it's explained to me. So, just, be careful with that, because every state has a victims compensation fund. Now, if somebody throws one up and they say, listen, this is money for the family, they're not going to be going to work for a month or so. I get it. I would have a hard time going to work too. I couldn't imagine. Your child's been murdered and you're supposed to show up and clock in at 9 the next day? No, you still got to keep the lights on. Still got to feed the kids. Or there's another case where meals are being sent. I get it. Anyhow, they wanted, let me look, what's it say? $15,000, and it was listed under funerals and memorials. Funerals and memorials. This says play. I was going to read the article. Maybe this will say it. He took it down, and he's telling people to donate to the trust that's set up at the bank. Okay. All in all, from what I'm understanding, the money that he was raising was going to go to Athena's dad, her biological father. Her biological father. It shows there's an organizer, like 4 organizers, but the money was going to go to the biological father, Wes. Where the hell was Wes for the last 2 years? While Daddy Uncle Pogo Stick and Aunt TikTok were abusing Athena. Hell no. I don't give a shit what it's for. When I heard that it was going to go to him, I said, oh no. Normally I don't get in that stuff. And I'm like, hey, you want to throw $5 in? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. By now, we all know there is a victims compensation fund. Thank you for the super sticker. My secretary, Christina's working around the clock. She said she called Ivan. If Ivan appears, will be between 2 and 4 today. Well, I know I better get my shit done because I've got some stuff to do between 2 and 4 today, and that's see what's going on with Ivan. I was like, no way. No way. $15,000? Now, if he was the best dad in the world, that'd be one thing. And they're like, look, the compensation fund pays $1,800. We want a little better for our child than that. That I would understand. A year and a half, 2 years? He has not been around Athena? What do you all think of that? There's no way I could have posted that. No way. And this guy's doing it from a good place, okay? He thinks he's helping out. He hasn't met the true crime world, though. No. And her service is going to be I think they said the 25th in Enid. Nope, nobody's asking for any money. If it worked that way, guys, there would be bodies stacked up all over the country. Not everybody's got $15K stashed for a funeral or memorial. You know what I'm talking about. I've heard some of your stories of what you've had to go through to bury your parents. I mean, it's horrible. Where are the grandparents? Where's Shelly? Did Shelly not wonder when TikTok was posting about her best weekend with Bladen and Ivan took off to Arizona with her 4 grandbabies? Did she not wonder where Adina and Athena were? Thank you very much, AJ. Thank you, honey buns. And then a damn GoFundMe. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm going to post this and then I'm going to check on Susan. That's Just Me. You all know who Just Me is. Because when she sees this GoFundMe, she's going to shit the bed. I'm going to have to check on Just Me. She's going to lose it. Let's see what this says.
APAC Central, Standard Materials Group, and Alliance Transportation are all CRH companies providing high-quality aggregates, asphalt, ready-mix concrete, construction services, and transportation of materials. We are hiring for multiple positions. Contact APAC now.
Controversy swirling around a GoFundMe page claiming to benefit Athena's 5-year-old sister.
And our own Chris Yu digging into the fundraiser, also the man behind it.
It's called the official fundraiser for Athena Brownfield, but people on Facebook have been questioning it. One post says too risky. Another says it's not legitimate.
The creator of the GoFundMe page can change the bank account funds, go into anytime he wants. Too risky to donate through GoFundMe. This one said there is no legitimate GoFundMe that is actually for the girls. Report any that you see. So these people were going hog wild. They were like, no. There is a fund set up at one of the local banks in Southwest Oklahoma that is an actual trust for Adina. Oh, man. I mean, I really think he did it out of the kindness of his heart and to want to do something. Did he know the backstory? Did he know? Because when I read that the funds are going to go to the dad who hasn't seen his kids in a year and a half, 2 years, sat back while they were put into this situation. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. On what planet did he think that was a good idea? On what planet did he think that was a good idea?
Here I am trying to help, and I'm being ostracized.
That's the man who started the GoFundMe page, Landon Jetmond. He says he's the brother of Athena's grandmother. Jetmond says he...
The brother of Athena's grandmother. So is he Penny's brother? Because if the funds go to Wes, that would be his nephew. Wes is the biological father. Let's look at our key. Wes is the guy that does not deserve to wear a Marine's uniform. Safe to say he's no longer a Marine. Penny, I guess, would be the guy that started the GoFundMe. I guess Penny is his sister. Penny's the one that said it's a long story and it's personal. Didn't really have time to talk about what was going on.
He wants the money to go to Athena's older son.
I'm being ostracized.
That's the man.
Okay, so he said he's being ostracized. I'm just going to guess he didn't even know Wes had 2 kids. He didn't even know Wes had 2 kids.
Man who started the GoFundMe page, Landon Jetmond. He says he's the brother of Athena's grandmother. Jetmond says he wants the money to go to Athena's older sister, Adina.
We want to make sure.
Okay, so he wants the money to go to the older sister, Adina. But the money was going to go to Wes. Wes didn't check on his daughters for the last 1.5 to 2 years. Wes didn't get them out of hell. Wes didn't take them to the doctor. Wes didn't take them to the dentist. Wes got a DUI back in March of 2022. So we know he's in the state. He's not stationed in Jacksonville like I was told. He's not deployed overseas. He's in Oklahoma. There's a warrant out for him in Comanche County, I think. So he's around. So let's just say he found out in March that his girls were with Uncle Pogo Stick and Aunt TikTok. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months to get it right. 9 months. He finds out Jasmine dumps him off. He had 9 months to go get his girls. Where was Wes at Christmas? They had birthdays throughout the year. And they do it as funeral and memorial, but say, we want this to take care of Adina. Nope, it doesn't work that way. Nope.
That's the man who started the GoFundMe page, Landon Jetmond. He says he's the brother of Athena's grandmother. Jetmond says he wants the money to go to Athena's older sister, Adina.
We want to make sure that little girl is taken care of and that nobody can access that money until she's 21.
Jetmond, who lives in Missouri, says although he's estranged from Athena's side of the family, he just wants to help.
Everybody's like, where was everybody? Why didn't anybody protect her? Where were the family members?
He doesn't want her to touch the money till she's 21. Well, right there, I'm not digging that. What if she needs braces? What if she needs braces? Well, I mean, I guess Sooner Care would pay for that. Okay, so we're supposed to throw in $10 today for a funeral that the state of Oklahoma is going to pay for money that she gets when she's 21? Oh, what the hell's going on here? Christina, why didn't Shelly see the grandbabies at Christmas? Exactly. Why is a guy who didn't even know Athena or Adina existed? He didn't even know his nephew had 2 daughters starting a damn GoFundMe then he wants to hold the money in trust until Adina's 21? What the hell? I got to hear this again.
To Athena's older sister, Adina.
We want to make sure that little girl is taken care of and that nobody can access that money until she's 21.
Jetmond, who lives in Missouri, says although he's estranged from Athena's side of the family, he just wants to help.
Everybody's like, where was everybody? Why didn't anybody protect her? Where were the family members? And I'm like, okay, well then I'm going to do something.
Jetmond says he got the blessing of Athena's biological father to create the GoFundMe page. The biological father told me he initially did give the okay, but changed his mind. Jetmond says he also contacted GoFundMe to connect his fundraiser with the one already established at First National Bank and Trust in Sorrel, so funds go directly there. GoFundMe told me the platform reached out to Jetmond for more information. Since then, Jetmond apparently changed his mind. He's asking all donations to go directly to the bank due to the backlash he's received for his GoFundMe.
Okay, so he wanted to put that account number on the GoFundMe. I don't think he can do that because he's not listed on that account. That's in Southwest Oklahoma. In Southwest Oklahoma. No wonder GoFundMe was like, we need more information. What the hell are you talking about? Why didn't you set it up that way? Let's see, what did he type? Due to false rumors being spread about this fundraiser by trolls on social media, we are now asking all donations to be redirected to bank where a trust fund account has been set up for Athena and Adina. Athena doesn't need a trust fund. The account is at First National Bank in Cyril. The contact number is 405 and it says phone redacted. Well, how can I donate? I need a phone number. But it's First National Bank in Cyril, Oklahoma. Call them and they will help you donate there directly instead of the stress of trying to do it through here. Anyone wanting to report this as a fraud should note that 1, this has been authorized by Wesley Brownfield, the father of Athena and Adina. That's all we need to know. I don't need to read number 2. Wesley Brownfield did not protect his daughters. Where has he been? If he was active duty military, I'm going to give you some credence right there. I am. 100% I am. But I know that in March, he couldn't have been because he got a DUI. March or May. We had it on the show the other day. I think they put a warrant out for him in September, Wesley, because he didn't show up to court. So he's had time to get his daughters out of this mess. I don't need to read number 2. Number 1 tells me all I need to know.
And says he also contacted GoFundMe to connect his fundraiser with the one already established at First National Bank and Trust in Sorrel, so funds go directly there. GoFundMe told me the platform reached out to Jetmond for more information. Since then, Jetmond apparently changed his mind. He's asking all donations to go directly to the bank due to the backlash he's received for his GoFundMe page. In addition, people can help the Brownfield family by buying a t-shirt. Just send a payment through PayPal to Family Life Church in Sorrel. Candy Jones is the organizer.
I have my own babies, and these girls deserve the world. So I am just one little human in a very loving, supportive community.
In the OKC newsroom, Chris Yu, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Well, I think I've covered that thoroughly. I think we understand. I think we understand now. No way in hell would I not want Adina to have money waiting on her when she's 21 or now. I know some people have said, well, she needs money for therapy. Sooner Care's got it. State of Oklahoma's got it. That's part of the Victims Compensation Fund. Plus, Sooner Care is separate. So, she'll have all that. I don't know who's going to oversee this money until she's 21. So I'm going to call the bank after this, the First National Bank. God bless them. I might have to wait till Monday because they probably are getting a ton of calls. Because I want to know, how's it going to be overseen? Is Wes overseeing it? Is Wes overseeing it? Wes doesn't seem like an accountant to me. So I want to know who's overseeing the money as well. Do you guys think I'm being too picky? I'm really not trying to be shitty. I'm not wishing anything worse on Adina. Just want to make sure we're all square here. If you've seen the very shocking interview of the owner, I'm friends with her on Facebook. We've been talking back and forth for days. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. The landlord that's over the house, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I invited her to come on this show. Her work schedule doesn't permit her to come on at 9 a.m. I pray Adina gets a good home too. I do. I know that the gentleman that was talking to KOTV, that's our station in Tulsa, he had said something in a Facebook group because he was going back and forth with Where's Summer. And he said that him and his wife want to adopt Adina. He said that they have the room, they have the means and everything like that. So what I heard was they weren't going to consider a kinship adoption, but I'm sure the kinship adoption probably means grandma, because the grandmas aren't good news either. And Wes, who suddenly is an accountant, he's obviously not the right fit for Adina because, well, he hasn't been around for a year and a half, 2 years. Jasmine, the biological mother, who just got remarried in October to Devontae, she doesn't get a second chance now. She doesn't get to jump up and say, I want to be a mom, if I'm being told correctly. Sandra said state of Oklahoma will take care of her needs, medical, etc. Yep. Through Sooner Care and the Victims Compensation Fund. From what I'm understanding, she's not Indian. She doesn't have a roll card. We need full transparency, no kinship adoption. So you got it too. We need full transparency. What's going on? Anybody want Wes overseeing the money until she's 21? He didn't oversee anything for the last year and a half, 2 years, but we're supposed to trust him with a big chunk of money till she's 21? What? What? He didn't have the sense God gave a goose to show up for court in September. They put a warrant out for his arrest, but he's going to oversee some money till she's 21? I don't know that that's the case, but we're going to find out, according to the cousin or the uncle. He was going to be overseeing the GoFundMe. What to do? Erica Hart said, nope, nope, nope. Glenjamin said, no, all the way across the screen. So I'm not going to bother with them today, but I will call on Monday, maybe tomorrow, because most banks are open like half a day on Saturday. I want to know how this fund's going to be overseen. And if the name rhymes with Besley, as in Daddy Wesley, I'm going to say good luck. That's all I'm going to say. If it's something set up through the bank where they're going to oversee it till she's 21, then I'll donate. Absolutely, I will. Absolutely, I will. All right, guys, I'm going to start winding this down. I think we've ruffled enough feathers this morning. What do you say? I don't know what's the craziest thing going on right now. Would it be Head and Shoulders over outside of Beantown, Googling what to do with a 115-pound dead person? Woman, female woman? Would it be the fake Ninja Vegan? Or the insanity in Southwest Oklahoma? I don't know. I'm torn. We had some new names in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have new members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to check the members tab. A lot of updates on there. Don't ever miss a members live. Don't ever miss a members live because they are too fun. Want to say happy birthday again to Lex. Thank the Mod Squad. Thank all of you. I hope you have a terrific weekend. Anything goes on that I think that we can't wait to talk about, you know the drill. Just make sure you're reminded. Remind all, and we will jump in. For those of you not getting your reminders, every morning, 9 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Tulsa time, we always get together and try to make sense of things that you just can't make sense of. But we do it the best we can. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you around.